The clock tower chimed, each strike echoing the hollowness that had taken root inside me. Midnight, the witching hour, when shadows waltz with secrets, and unspoken truths claw their way into the light. It is an hour ripe for confessions. My confession: I am lost at sea. Orphaned in my youth, I clung to the promise of a future with Liu Jingchuan, a beacon in my storm-ravaged world. Our marriage was meant to be a haven, a sanctuary built upon years of shared dreams. But dreams, I'm discovering, are fragile things, easily shattered by the harsh realities of life. Then she arrived, the secretary, young, vibrant, a stark contrast to the quiet desperation simmering beneath my carefully constructed facade. I saw the way Liu Jingchuan looked at her, a spark of something new igniting in his eyes, a flame that had long since died when he looked at me. The realization struck me like a physical blow, leaving me breathless in a world suddenly devoid of air. That night, fueled by a potent cocktail of despair and defiance, I found myself drawn to Yi Wujiao, a shadow lurking on the periphery of Liu Jingchuan's life. He was a friend, an acquaintance, someone I barely knew. Yet, in his dark, knowing eyes, I saw a reflection of my own pain, a shared understanding of the unspoken burdens we carried. One impulsive decision spiraled into another, and I found myself entangled with him as I never could have imagined. Now, bathed in the cold, unforgiving light of midnight, I understand the magnitude of my mistake. Yi Wujiao is not a temporary fix, a fleeting escape from my crumbling reality. He is a wildfire, burning with an intensity that threatens to consume everything in its path. And I, a fool, have willingly stepped into the inferno. This is my confession. I am utterly lost, caught between the ashes of a broken promise and the terrifying allure of a man I cannot control, a man who sees the darkness within me and doesn't recoil. The weight of my confession settles, heavy and suffocating, like a prisoner tracing the cold bars of a self-made cage. Each bar is forged from denial and desperation. I realize with chilling clarity that the psychology of infidelity isn't a textbook theory, but a brutal, lived reality. I sought solace in Yi Wujiao, a forbidden fruit promising escape from my marriage's barren landscape. Instead of respite, I unearthed a labyrinth of secrets and lies, each turn leading me further from the woman I once was. Attachment theory whispers insidious truths. Was I always an anxiously attached soul, seeking validation in another's eyes because my self-worth was built on sand? Did unspoken resentments within my marriage warp my ability to form secure, healthy bonds? The thought is a bitter pill, a harsh judgment on my emotional fragility. Cognitive dissonance screams in my ears, a cacophony of conflicting beliefs. I, who prided myself on honesty and integrity, have become a master of deception. The discomfort is unbearable, a constant gnawing that threatens to unravel my carefully constructed facade. How can I reconcile the woman who vowed to cherish and protect with the one who now sneaks away in the dead of night, heart pounding with guilt and exhilaration? The impact of trauma on relationships is a specter I can no longer ignore. Have I subconsciously recreated past dynamics, seeking a partner who mirrors the emotional unavailability that plagued my childhood? Is Yi Wujiao simply a reflection of my wounded self, a magnet drawing me to the familiar ache of unrequited love? Emotional regulation, once a skill I took for granted, now feels impossible. Waves of guilt, desire, and confusion crash over me, threatening to drown me. I long for the days when I could reframe my emotions, distance myself from the negative, and find solace in logic. But now, logic is a distant shore, and I am adrift in a sea of raw, untamed feeling. The role of secrets and lies in relationships is a lesson etched in fire. Each whispered word, each carefully crafted omission, has chipped away at my marriage's foundation, creating a chasm too wide to bridge. Intimacy, trust, and communication, all casualties of my desperate attempt to escape my unhappiness. Is this Stockholm Syndrome, this strange, twisted affection I feel for Yi Wujiao? Have I become so accustomed to my discontent that I find comfort in my captor's arms? The thought is horrifying, a stark reflection of how far I've sunk. No, this isn't Stockholm Syndrome. This is a midnight confession of a soul teetering on the edge, a desperate plea for understanding in the face of utter chaos. This is the raw, unfiltered truth. I am lost. I am broken, and I have no idea how to find my way back. The line between love and torment has blurred. Each stolen glance, each whispered word from him etches deeper into my heart's labyrinth. He's my tormentor, yet in his gaze, I find a twisted solace, a dark understanding that mirrors the storm within me. Is this attachment? A desperate clinging to the one constant in my shattered world? They say trauma rewrites the soul, twisting perceptions until what was once abhorrent becomes a twisted comfort. My past, woven with pain and abandonment, has left me vulnerable, yearning for connection, even one forged in conflict. I fear the truth, the insidious whisper, that I am not fighting him, but myself, fighting the ingrained belief that I am unworthy of love. That pain is my rightful inheritance, and Ji Wu Jiao, with his sharp edges and shadowed heart, embodies that belief. This isn't love as the poets sing of it. This is a desperate dance on the precipice of destruction, a dangerous game where the stakes are my sanity. Yet, I cannot turn away. I am drawn to him, to the darkness that consumes him, because perhaps, deep down, I believe that only in embracing the shadows can I ever hope to find a flicker of light. The secrets we keep are like shards of glass, each reflecting a distorted version of ourselves. With Yi Wu Jiao, there are 1,000 such shards, each glinting with the promise of danger and the allure of the forbiddance. He is a vault of unspoken truths, a labyrinth of concealed desires, and I am most drawn relentlessly to his flame. The psychology of infidelity whispers insidious doubts. Is this attraction born of genuine connection, or merely a symptom of some deeper, unacknowledged wound? Am I seeking solace in his darkness, a twisted escape from my gilded cage? The statistics paint a grim picture: broken trust, shattered hearts, the wreckage of relationships consumed by deception. Yet, I dismiss the warnings, convinced that what we share transcends such mundane concerns. Attachment theory, with its neat categories and clinical detachment, offers little comfort. Secure, avoidant, anxious, none of these labels fit the tangled mess of emotions that bind me to Yi Wu Jiao. Our connection is a maelstrom of conflicting needs, a desperate dance between longing and fear. Perhaps our attachment style is best described as disorganized, a reflection of the trauma that shadows our pasts, a testament to the emotional dysregulation that threatens to consume us both. And then there is the gnawing unease of cognitive dissonance. I know that what I am doing is wrong, that my actions fly at the face of societal expectations and moral obligations. The conflict between my beliefs and my behavior creates a profound sense of discomfort, a churning in my gut that refuses to be silenced. Yet, I justify my choices, rationalizing my actions with flimsy excuses and self-serving delusions. I tell myself that love knows no boundaries, that the rules do not apply to us, that our connection is somehow exempt from the consequences that plague ordinary mortals. The impact of trauma on relationships haunts my every thought. Both of us are wounded souls, scarred by the ghosts of our past. Yi Wu Jiao carries the weight of unspeakable horrors, while I am burdened by the legacy of betrayal and neglect. Our shared pain draws us together, creating a bond of understanding that transcends words, but it also threatens to tear us apart, as our unresolved traumas trigger unpredictable emotional responses and destructive behavioral patterns. Emotional regulation is a skill I desperately need to master, the ability to reframe my emotions, to control my impulses, to navigate the turbulent waters of my own psyche. These are the tools I need to survive this perilous journey. But with Yi Wu Jiao, my carefully constructed defenses crumble, and I am left vulnerable to the full force of my feelings. The role of secrets and lies in relationships is a constant source of anxiety. Our connection is built on a foundation of deception, a web of half-truths and veiled intentions. The secrets we keep create barriers between us, preventing the open and honest communication that is essential for a healthy relationship, and the lies we tell erode trust, poisoning the well of intimacy and leaving us both feeling isolated and alone. Is this Stockholm Syndrome? Am I merely a captive of my own desires, developing a perverse affection for the man who holds me hostage with his darkness? The thought is unsettling, a chilling reminder of the power dynamics that shape our connection, but I reject the notion, clinging to the belief that what we share is more than just a twisted survival mechanism. Perhaps, in the end, our story is not one of love at all. Perhaps it is simply a tale of two broken souls seeking solace in each other's shadows, a desperate attempt to find meaning in a world that has long since lost its way. But even in the darkness, there is a flicker of hope, a possibility that, together, we can find a way to heal, to forgive, and to emerge from the shadows into the light. But what if, I whisper into the darkness, my voice barely audible, what if our midnight confessions aren't just admissions of guilt, but desperate pleas for understanding, a yearning to be seen in the totality of our brokenness? The air hangs heavy with unspoken truths, each breath a fragile bridge spanning the chasm of our shared trauma. We are both architects and prisoners of our own minds, constructing elaborate defenses against a world that has repeatedly shattered our foundations. Perhaps this is why we are drawn to each other, two souls navigating the labyrinth of complex trauma CPTSD, finding a strange, haunting solace in the familiar echoes of pain. Our relationship is a twisted dance of push and pull, a stark manifestation of disorganized attachment. We crave intimacy, yet recoil at its touch, forever caught in a heartbreaking cycle of approach and avoidance. The fear of vulnerability looms large, casting long, distorted shadows over our every interaction. We keep secrets, not out of malice, but from a desperate, primal need to protect ourselves from further harm. But as the psychology of secrets and lies in relationships dictates, each concealed truth chips away at the foundation of trust, creating a distance that feels impossible to bridge, a gulf that widens with every unspoken word. I see the flicker of Stockholm Syndrome in your eyes, a twisted, unsettling affection for the captor who holds you hostage in your own mind. You defend the very demons that haunt you, clinging to the familiar pain if it were a lifeline in a turbulent sea. And I, in turn, find myself drawn to your darkness, compelled to understand the unfathomable depths of your suffering. Our attempts at emotional regulation are often futile, like trying to hold back a tidal wave with bare hands. We lash out, withdraw, and retreat into the deepest recesses of our minds, seeking refuge from the overwhelming intensity of our emotions. Yet, amidst the chaos, there are moments of clarity, fleeting glimpses of hope that pierce through the darkness like shards of light. What if, instead of running from our pain, we turn towards it, embracing the discomfort and finding strength in our vulnerability? What if we could rewrite the narrative of our lives, transforming our trauma into a source of resilience, a wellspring of compassion for ourselves and others? Trauma-informed relationship therapy suggests that healing is possible, that we can create a safe space for each other to explore our deepest wounds, a sanctuary where we can unravel the tangled threads of our past. It won't be easy. The road to recovery is long and arduous, fraught with setbacks and challenges, a winding path through a dark forest. But with open communication, unwavering empathy, and a willingness to confront our demons, we can begin to rebuild the shattered pieces of our lives, to piece together a mosaic of hope and healing. Perhaps, in the end, our love story will not be a fairy tale, but a testament to the power of the human spirit to overcome adversity, a gritty, raw ballad of survival. Perhaps it will be a beacon of hope for others who have been lost in the darkness, a reminder that even in the depths of despair, there is always a possibility for healing and redemption, a faint glimmer of light in the abyss. And perhaps, just perhaps, our midnight confessions will become the foundation for a new beginning, a chance to rewrite our story and finally find our way into the light, to step out of the shadows and into the warmth of a new dawn. Even as we stand here, on the precipice of change, the shadows of our past still cling to us, whispering doubts and fears into the quiet spaces of our hearts, like insidious voices trying to pull us back into the darkness. My disorganized attachment, born from childhood wounds, makes me yearn for closeness while simultaneously fearing it, a cruel paradox that has haunted my relationships, a relentless cycle of longing and retreat. And you, my love, carry the weight of complex trauma, CPTSD, a constant battle against the echoes of past pain that threaten to consume you, a relentless storm raging within. We are caught in a web of cognitive dissonance, our beliefs and behaviors sometimes at odds, creating a friction that threatens to tear us apart, a constant internal conflict that wears us down. The secrets we have kept, the lies we have told, have built walls between us, fostering feelings of stress, distance, and inauthenticity, creating a chasm that seems impossible to cross. Like characters in a dark thriller, we have navigated a landscape of deception and hidden truths, each revelation chipping away at the foundation of our love, eroding the trust that once held us together. But amidst this darkness, a flicker of hope remains, a tiny ember glowing in the ashes of our past. We are learning to regulate our emotions, to find balance in the chaos, to respond to challenges with mindfulness and compassion, cultivating a sense of inner peace amidst the storm. We seek solace in trauma-informed therapy, creating a safe space where we can confront our demons and heal our wounds, a sanctuary where we can finally begin to mend. We are learning the language of honesty, expressing our desires for change with vulnerability and courage, knowing that only through truth can we find true connection, that only by laying bare our souls can we truly be seen. And so, we embark on this journey, armed with the knowledge that love is not a destination, but a process, a winding road with unexpected turns. We will stumble, we will fall, but we will rise again, stronger and more resilient than before. Our scars are testament to our survival, for we know that even in the darkest of nights, the faintest glimmer of hope can ignite a fire that burns brighter than any shadow, a beacon that guides us through the darkness. And perhaps, in the end, our love will be a testament to the power of vulnerability, the courage to face our fears, and the unwavering belief in the possibility of redemption. A love that transcends trauma and blossoms into something beautiful and enduring. And it is in these midnight confessions, whispered in the darkness, where vulnerability reigns, that we find the courage to confront the demons that haunt our hearts, to face the ghosts of our past. We speak of disorganized attachments, the fractured bonds of our past that leave us yearning for connection yet terrified of intimacy, a constant push and pull that leaves us breathless, like moths drawn to a flame. We flutter towards love, only to recoil in fear, the scars of past betrayals etched deep within our souls, a reminder of the pain that awaits. We grapple with cognitive dissonance, the agonizing tension between what we believe to be true and the painful reality of our experiences, a constant battle between our ideals and our reality. How do we reconcile the image of the loving partner we long for with the flawed human being who stands before us, capable of inflicting both joy and pain? The dissonance threatens to tear us apart, leaving us adrift in a sea of uncertainty and doubt, lost in a storm of conflicting emotions. But even amidst the chaos, there is hope, a lifeline thrown to us in the midst of the storm. Trauma-informed relationship therapy offers a path towards healing, a safe space to explore the wounds of the past and rebuild trust, a sanctuary where we can begin to mend the broken pieces of our hearts. We learn to regulate our emotions, to navigate the turbulent waters of our inner world with mindfulness and compassion, cultivating a sense of inner peace amidst the chaos. Cognitive reframing becomes our shield against the onslaught of negative thoughts, allowing us to see the world and ourselves in a new light, to break free from the prison of our past. Yet, the shadows linger, a constant reminder of the darkness we have endured, secrets and lies weave a tangled web of deceit, poisoning the very foundation of our love, eroding the trust that is essential for a healthy relationship. We yearn for honesty, for the freedom to be our authentic selves, but fear holds us captive, preventing us from fully embracing vulnerability. The weight of unspoken truths crushes our spirits, creating distance and inauthenticity in our interactions, building walls that separate us from each other. And then there is the specter of Stockholm Syndrome, a chilling reminder of the human capacity for survival, even in the face of unimaginable horror, a dark reflection of our own resilience. We question our own sanity, wondering if the bonds we have forged are genuine or merely a twisted manifestation of trauma, struggling to discern between love and manipulation. Complex trauma casts a long shadow, its tendrils reaching into every corner of our lives, poisoning our relationships and distorting our perceptions. Trust becomes a fragile commodity, easily shattered by the slightest misstep, a precious jewel that we guard with our lives. Emotional dysregulation threatens to consume us, leaving us vulnerable to outbursts of anger, despair, and withdrawal, a constant battle against the storm within. We fear intimacy, yet crave connection, trapped in a paradoxical dance of approach and avoidance, forever caught between our desire for love and our fear of pain. But even in the depths of despair, love persists, a tenacious flame refusing to be extinguished. It is a flickering flame, threatened by the winds of adversity, yet refusing to be extinguished, a testament to the enduring power of the human heart. We learn to navigate the treacherous terrain of our past, armed with empathy, compassion, and unwavering commitment, guiding each other through the darkness. We embrace vulnerability, recognizing that it is not a weakness, but a strength, a key that unlocks the door to true intimacy. For it is in our willingness to expose our deepest fears and insecurities that we create the space for true connection to blossom, allowing love to flourish in the most unlikely of circumstances. And so, we stumble forward, hand in hand, towards a future where love triumphs over trauma, where healing replaces heartache, and where the faintest glimmer of hope illuminates the path ahead, guiding us towards a brighter tomorrow. But the journey is far from over, a long and winding road with many obstacles to overcome. We stand at the precipice of understanding, armed with tools to navigate the complexities of the human heart, ready to face whatever challenges lie ahead. Disorganized attachment, a chaotic dance of wanting closeness yet fearing intimacy, no longer needs to hold us captive, no longer needs to define our relationships. We recognize its roots in early wounds, in environments where love and safety were fractured, understanding the origins of our fear. With trauma-informed therapy as our guide, we gently dismantle the walls built to protect us, brick by painful brick, carefully and compassionately deconstructing the barriers that separate us. We learn to regulate the storms within, employing mindfulness and cognitive reframing to quiet the echoes of the past, cultivating a sense of inner peace amidst the chaos. Cognitive dissonance, the inner turmoil born of conflicting beliefs, loses its power to divide us, no longer able to create a wedge between us. We embrace honesty, even when it stings, knowing that truth, however painful, is the only foundation upon which trust can be rebuilt. Understanding that transparency is essential for a healthy relationship, we acknowledge the secrets we have harbored, the lies we have told, not as weapons of malice, but as desperate attempts to protect ourselves from further harm. Recognizing the origins of our deception, inspired by vulnerability, we dare to speak the unspoken, to lay bare our deepest fears and desires, creating a space for true intimacy and connection. And though the shadows of Stockholm Syndrome and complex trauma may linger, threatening to distort our perception of reality, we refuse to succumb, refusing to let the darkness consume us. We understand that love should not be a prison, that connection should not come at the cost of our own autonomy. Recognizing the importance of maintaining our individual identities, we recognize the paradoxical nature of intimacy, the way closeness can trigger both comfort and fear, and we navigate these treacherous waters with patience and compassion, guiding each other through the storm. Together, we rewrite the narrative of our lives, transforming a story of pain and survival into one of healing and resilience, reclaiming our power and rewriting our destinies. We become architects of our own emotional landscapes, building bridges of empathy, forgiveness, and unwavering support, creating a foundation of love and understanding. And in the quiet moments, when the world is hushed and the stars twinkle, we whisper our vows anew, to love fiercely, to forgive deeply, and to never give up on the possibility of a love that heals, a love that endures, a love that sets us free, a love that transcends trauma and blossoms into something beautiful and enduring. As the first rays of dawn paint the sky, gently illuminating our intertwined hands, we find ourselves drawn into the sacred space of midnight confessions. In these hushed hours, when the world sleeps and our souls are most vulnerable, we dare to speak the unspeakable, to reveal the hidden chambers of our hearts, and confront the shadows that linger from past wounds. For those who have weathered the storms of childhood trauma, these midnight confessions become a lifeline, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Attachment theory reminds us that our earliest experiences shape our capacity for intimacy and trust. When those formative years are marred by abuse, neglect, or loss, the wounds run deep, leaving us with disorganized attachment patterns that manifest as fear, anxiety, and a profound sense of unworthiness. In these moments of raw honesty, we acknowledge the impact of those early traumas on our adult relationships. We admit the difficulty in navigating conflict, the struggle to communicate effectively, and the overwhelming fear of vulnerability. We confess how our past has colored our present, creating barriers to true connection. But amidst these confessions, we also discover the power of healing. Trauma-informed therapy offers a safe and supportive space to explore the root causes of our pain, to process emotions buried for years, and to develop coping skills for managing triggers and flashbacks. Mindfulness techniques teach us to ground ourselves in the present moment, to observe our thoughts and feelings without judgment, and to cultivate inner peace. Cognitive reframing helps us challenge negative beliefs rooted in our minds, replacing them with more accurate and compassionate perspectives. In the context of unhealthy relationship dynamics, midnight confessions can catalyze change. Stockholm Syndrome, with its complex web of emotional bonds between victim and abuser, can be dismantled through honest self-reflection and a commitment to breaking free from cycles of manipulation and control. Healthy relationship boundaries, once blurred or non-existent, can be redefined with assertiveness and clarity, creating a safe space for both partners to thrive. And in the paradox of intimacy, where our efforts to connect can sometimes push us further apart, midnight confessions offer a path towards genuine connection. By daring to be vulnerable, by sharing our deepest fears and insecurities, we invite our partners to meet us in the depths of our humanity. It is in these moments of courageous honesty that true intimacy blossoms, transcending the superficialities of gossip-based bonding and creating a foundation of trust, empathy, and unwavering support. As the night draws to a close and dawn breaks, we emerge from our midnight confessions transformed. We are no longer defined by our past traumas, but empowered by our capacity for healing. We are no longer bound by unhealthy relationship dynamics, but committed to creating a future of mutual respect and understanding. And we are no longer afraid to be vulnerable, but emboldened by the knowledge that true intimacy lies in the depths of our shared humanity. For in the sacred space of midnight confessions, we discover the power of love to heal, to transform, and to set us free. In the hush of night, when shadows dance and the world slumbers, souls awaken to whisper secrets they dare not utter in the light of day. Midnight confessions, a sacred ritual of vulnerability, where hearts lay bare their deepest fears and yearnings. It is in these hushed moments, under the watchful gaze of the moon, that true healing begins. Imagine a world where childhood traumas no longer dictate the narrative of our lives. Attachment theory, a framework shaped by early experiences, becomes a map guiding us toward secure connections. Disorganized attachment, the chaotic dance of seeking and avoiding, gives way to a harmonious embrace of self-worth. The neurobiology of trauma, a complex interplay of biological processes, transforms into a pathway of understanding, illuminated by advancements in trauma-informed therapy. We strive to shed the weight of complex trauma, the insidious CPTSD that whispers doubts and distorts our self-perception. Mindfulness techniques become our allies, gently guiding us toward emotional regulation and inner peace. Cognitive reframing, a powerful tool, reshapes our thoughts, replacing distorted beliefs with empowering truths. Cognitive dissonance, the internal battleground, finds resolution in self-compassion and acceptance. Stockholm Syndrome, the insidious bond forged in abusive relationships, loses its grip if we reclaim our autonomy and self-respect. Healthy relationship boundaries, once blurred lines, become clear and strong, protecting our emotional well-being and fostering genuine intimacy. We understand that true intimacy is not found in the fleeting comfort of gossip, but in the courageous act of vulnerability. In these midnight confessions, we confront the paradox of intimacy, the delicate balance between closeness and distance, the courage to be seen and the wisdom to protect our hearts. As the first light of dawn kisses the horizon, we emerge transformed. We are no longer solely defined by our past traumas, but empowered by our capacity for healing. We are no longer bound by unhealthy relationship dynamics, but committed to creating a future of mutual respect and understanding. And we are no longer afraid to be vulnerable, but emboldened by the knowledge that true intimacy lies in the depths of our shared humanity. For in the space of midnight confessions, we discover the power of love to heal, to transform, and to set us free. Even in the quiet aftermath of such profound realizations, the journey is far from over. It is in the tender moments of vulnerability, in the hushed tones of midnight confessions, that the real work begins. For it is here, in the raw, unfiltered honesty of our souls, that we confront the shadows that still linger. We acknowledge the complex dance of attachment, understanding how early wounds can shape our adult relationships. We recognize the insidious nature of disorganized attachment, the push and pull of wanting closeness, while fearing its potential for pain. We see clearly how childhood trauma can cast a long shadow, influencing our ability to trust, to communicate, and to navigate the treacherous waters of intimacy. Yet, armed with this knowledge, we refuse to be defined by our past. We embrace the potential of trauma-informed therapy, seeking solace and healing within its framework. We learn to reframe our cognitive distortions, challenging the negative narratives that have held us captive for too long. We practice mindfulness, anchoring ourselves in the present moment and cultivating a sense of inner peace. As we navigate the complexities of human connection, we set healthy boundaries, protecting our emotional well-being and fostering relationships built on mutual respect. We dismantle patterns resembling Stockholm Syndrome, recognizing that true love is not born of coercion or control, but of genuine empathy and understanding. We challenge the paradox of intimacy, daring to be vulnerable without resorting to gossip or judgment. In the realm of midnight confessions, we discover that healing is not a destination, but a continuous journey. It is a process of self-discovery, of confronting our deepest fears and embracing our inherent worth. It is a testament to the resilience of the human spirit, our capacity to overcome adversity, and our unwavering belief in the power of love to transform. As we lay bare our souls in the darkness of night, we find solace in the knowledge that we are not alone, that others too have walked this path, and that together, we can create a future where love has the potential to reign supreme. The clock strikes midnight, and in the hushed stillness, Elara turns to face Liam. The air vibrates with unspoken words, thick with the weight of their shared history. "Tell me," she breathes, her voice barely a whisper against the city's gentle hum. "Tell me everything." He hesitates, his gaze flitting across her face, searching for a sign, a silent invitation to unleash the storm within him. "It began long before you, Elara, with shadows that became a part of me." He speaks of a childhood starved of affection, a home where fear was the only constant. "My attachment style, disorganized, they called it. A fear of intimacy disguised as indifference." Elara reaches out, her fingers lightly tracing the lines of his palm. "And the nightmares." Liam flinches, the memories crashing over him a rogue wave. They're echoes of a past I can't escape. Trauma rewires you, Elara, leaving an imprint that turns every corner into a potential threat. He confesses to the cognitive distortions that plague him, the irrational thoughts that whisper doubts and insecurities, catastrophizing, overgeneralizing. They're old acquaintances. But you're not alone, Elara murmurs, her voice a soothing balm for his wounded spirit. We can face them together. She speaks of trauma-informed therapy, of creating a sanctuary where Liam can confront his demons without judgment, of mindfulness, an anchor in the present, a way to silence the cacophony of his past. Stockholm Syndrome, he whispers, the words laced with shame. There were times I convinced myself that the people who hurt me loved me, that I deserved it. Elara's heart aches for the lost boy within the man. That wasn't love, Liam. That was survival. She speaks of boundaries, of reclaiming his power, of setting limits that protect his heart. It's okay to say no. It's okay to prioritize your well-being. He looks at her, a flicker of hope igniting in his eyes. Breen Brown says vulnerability is the birthplace of love and belonging. And I say, you are the bravest person I know. Elara cups his face, her touch both gentle and firm. You are resilient, Liam. You have the strength to heal, to rewrite your story. Beneath the midnight stars, they find solace in their shared vulnerability, to souls entwined, bound by a love that transcends the darkness, a love that promises a future where healing is possible, where even the deepest wounds can become scars of resilience. Liam leans into Elara's touch, the warmth of her hands a welcome comfort against the lingering chill in his bones. But what if the story is too shattered to rewrite? He whispers, his voice raw with a vulnerability that exposes the deepest parts of his heart. What if the scars are too profound? Elara's eyes, poles of understanding and unwavering belief, meet his. Then we trace them together, she says softly. We examine each line, each curve, each painful memory, not to erase them, but to understand them, to learn from them. Your scars, Liam, aren't signs of weakness. They're maps of your survival, testaments to your strength. She pauses, her thumbs gently caressing his cheekbones. You carry within you a disorganized attachment, a fear born from early wounds, from a world that didn't feel safe. But that doesn't define you. It's simply a part of your story, a challenge to overcome. Elara takes a deep breath, her voice gaining strength. We'll face it together, Liam. We'll unravel the cognitive distortions that whisper lies in your mind, those irrational thoughts that tell you you're not worthy, not lovable. We'll replace them with truths, with affirmations of your inherent value. She gently draws him closer until their foreheads touch. And we'll practice mindfulness, Liam. We'll learn to anchor ourselves in the present, to find peace amidst the chaos, to quiet the echoes of the past and the anxieties of the future. Trauma-informed therapy, she continues, will be our guide. We'll create a safe space, a haven where you can explore your pain without judgment, where you can rebuild trust and reclaim your power. Liam closes his eyes, letting her words wash over him, a soothing balm for his wounded soul. And what about the Stockholm Syndrome, he asks, the words barely audible. The part of me that feels connected to the darkness. Elara's hand tightens around his. That's a survival mechanism, Liam, a way your mind coped with the unthinkable. It doesn't mean you condone what happened. It means you're incredibly strong. We'll unpack that, understand it, and gently release its hold on you. She pulls back slightly, her eyes searching his. We'll set boundaries, Liam, firm, unwavering boundaries that protect your heart and your soul. Boundaries that say, this far and no further. Boundaries that honor your worth and your needs. And we'll embrace vulnerability, she adds, her voice filled with warmth and conviction. We'll peel back the layers of armor, not to expose you to more pain, but to allow you to experience true intimacy, true connection, to find joy in the simple act of being seen, being heard, being loved for exactly who you are. Elara smiles, a radiant, hopeful smile that reaches deep into Liam's soul. You are resilient, Liam. You have the capacity to heal, to grow, to transform your pain into something beautiful. And I will be here, every step of the way, holding your hand, offering my strength, and reminding you of the incredible light that shines within you. Beneath the midnight stars, they find solace in their shared vulnerability, to souls entwined, bound by a love that transcends the darkness, a love that promises a future where healing is possible, where even the deepest wounds can become scars of resilience. The air crackles with unspoken truths as Elara finally whispers, "I'm afraid." It's a raw, naked admission that hangs between them, heavy with the weight of her past. Liam gently cups her face, his thumbs tracing the delicate curve of her cheekbones. "What are you afraid of, Elara?" he asks, his voice a soothing balm to her frayed nerves. "That I'm too broken," she confesses, her voice barely audible. "That all this darkness inside me will eventually consume everything good." Liam's eyes search hers, delving into the depths of her soul. "Elara," he says softly, "your scars don't scare me. They tell a story of survival, of strength. They remind me of how far you've come." He pauses, then adds with unwavering conviction, "And the darkness you speak of, I see it too, but I also see the light that fights against it, the fierce determination to heal, to love." He pulls her closer, enfolding her in a comforting embrace. "You're not too broken, Elara. You're perfectly imperfect, a masterpiece in progress. We all are." He takes a step back, holding her gaze. "I know about disorganized attachment, Elara. The fear of intimacy, the distrust. I understand the walls you've built around your heart." He pauses, then gently adds, "But I also know about trauma-informed therapy, about creating a safe space where you can explore those wounds without judgment. And I'm here to help you dismantle those walls, brick by brick, if that's what you want." Cognitive distortions, he continues, those irrational thoughts that tell you you're not worthy, that you're unlovable, they're lies, Elara. And together, we can challenge them, replace them with truths about your strength, your beauty, your capacity for love. He takes her hand, his touch sending a jolt of warmth through her. "Let's practice mindfulness together, Elara. Let's anchor ourselves in the present moment, breathe in the good, and release the fear. Let's find moments of peace amidst the chaos, moments where we can simply be, without judgment, without expectation. And if the shadows of Stockholm Syndrome ever creep into your thoughts," he says, his voice laced with concern, "we'll face them together. We'll understand the complex ways trauma can warp our perceptions, and we'll work to reclaim your sense of self, your autonomy, your power." He gently strokes her hair, his touch tender and reassuring. "Your brain may have been rewired by trauma, Elara, but it's also capable of neuroplasticity, of healing, of rewriting its own story. And I'll be here, every step of the way, helping you create a new narrative, one filled with hope, with love, with resilience. We'll set boundaries, Elara," he promises, "boundaries that protect your heart, your soul, your well-being. We'll learn to communicate our needs, to honor our limits, to create a space where we can both thrive." He smiles softly, a genuine, heartfelt smile that reaches his eyes. Brené Brown says vulnerability is the birthplace of love, belonging, and joy. It's terrifying, I know, but it's also the key to unlocking true connection. Let's be vulnerable together, Elara. Let's show each other our true selves, flaws and all, and discover the beauty that lies within. He looks at her, his eyes filled with unwavering belief. "You are resilient, Elara. You have the strength to overcome anything. And I'll be here, not to fix you, but to walk alongside you, to support you, to love you unconditionally, as you navigate your journey towards healing." In that moment, Elara sees not just a lover, but a safe harbor, a beacon of hope in the storm. And for the first time in a long time, she dares to believe that maybe, just maybe, she can truly heal, and that love, real love, is possible for her after all. Elara leaned into his touch, the warmth of his hand a soothing balm against the years of accumulated cold. "But what if I can't?" she whispered, the vulnerability raw and exposed. "What if the damage is too deep? What if I'm too broken to ever be whole?" Liam cupped her face, his thumbs gently tracing the curve of her cheekbones. "Elara," he said softly, his eyes filled with an unwavering tenderness. "Disorganized attachment isn't a life sentence. It's a pattern, a response to trauma. But it's not who you are. Trauma-informed therapy can help you rewrite those patterns to create new neural pathways, new ways of relating to yourself and others." He paused, choosing his words with care. "Think of your brain as being neuroplastic, capable of change, of healing. It won't be easy, but it is possible. I know it is." He continued, "And it's not about becoming someone else, someone fixed. It's about integrating your past experiences into your present self, understanding how they've shaped you, and choosing how you want to move forward. It's about setting boundaries, Elara, protecting your emotional space, and learning to trust again." He took a deep breath, his gaze searching hers. "Vulnerability," he murmured. "It's terrifying, I know. Brené Brown says, it's the birthplace of love, belonging, joy, courage, empathy, and creativity. It's where true connection happens. And I want that with you, Elara, if you'll let me." He gently took her hands in his thumbs caressing her knuckles. "I know you carry so much within you, so many midnight confessions whispered only to the darkness. But you don't have to carry them alone anymore. I want to hear them, Elara, all of them. Not to judge, not to fix, but to understand, to empathize, to simply be there, holding space for you. Mindfulness," he added, "can help you stay grounded in the present, to quiet the noise of the past and the anxiety of the future. Even just 10 minutes a day can make a difference, easing the weight on your heart, allowing you to breathe a little easier." He paused, his eyes searching hers. "You've survived so much, Elara, that makes you incredibly resilient. Resilience isn't about never falling. It's about getting back up, stronger each time. And I believe in you, in your strength, in your capacity for healing and for love." Liam's voice dropped to a near whisper, his eyes filled with a fierce, unwavering love. "You are not defined by your past, Elara. You are not your trauma. You are a survivor, a warrior, and you are worthy of love, of happiness, of peace. Let me help you find it.